Welcome to Candidate Conversations, part of Delaware Debates 2016, produced by Delaware Public Media in collaboration with the University of Delaware's Center for Political Communication, with support from AARP. I'm Delaware Public Media News Director Tom Byrne. This conversation, taped on the campus of Delaware State University, focuses on the race for U.S. House, and we are joined by Democrat Scott Walker. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you, Tom.
Well, your background, so what in your background do you feel separates you from the other candidates running and makes you better suited for the job?
Well, first of all, I've never run for office before, and I think at this time, I feel that the voters are looking for a different voice to come onto the stage and speak for them. And I've never run for office before outside of student council at Brandywine High School, but that in itself is an advantage. I've been in private business all my life, so I know I have a good feel for what it takes, to make it in this world. It's very tough for these young folks coming up to make it, and so that is also a factor that I feel is in my favor. I'm a father of 4 children. I was a single dad for a number of years, so I can really, I can really appreciate the pressure that parents are under today to make it. And the last thing is that I have a lot of legal experience through my work with my nonprofit, dealing with laws that exist today that are rather negative in their effect upon people who are trying to find low-cost housing. And so I've done a lot of pro se work in all the courts in Delaware concerning housing discrimination.
You mentioned that you've never run for office before. It's a unique year for this particular race because none of the candidates in the field this year, yourself included, have been elected to statewide office. A lot of people sometimes see that as kind of a prerequisite for a seat like this in the U.S. House. What would you say to a voter who's concerned about your lack of experience and ability to go to Washington and get things done?
I would say to that voter, follow your instinct and listen to the message that candidate is delivering, and you will come up with the right decision.
Getting things done in Washington has been difficult in recent years. If elected, what do you feel you could do to bridge the partisan divide at the Capitol?
Well, the first thing to do, Tom, is don't divide, unite. Both sides. There's good and bad on both sides, and this stalemate is unnecessary. And we all need to understand each other's differences and recognize that and don't leave anybody out of the process of coming to a consensus. Bring everybody in.
One of the big issues is creating and retaining jobs in Delaware. Concerns about that have been front and center this year, most notably in the wake of the Dow-DuPont merger. What steps would you take if elected to help boost economic growth, raise wages, create jobs here in the First State and elsewhere?
What I would do is listen to both sides. I would listen to businesses' side, what they need. Businesses are looking for labor that is reasonably priced so that they can produce a product that is competitive in the local and the world marketplace. And so I would take that basic information and then go to our political leaders, our leaders of the communities, and try to reach a bargain, an agreement that would bring these jobs into Delaware where they belong, because we've got the best workers right here in Delaware you're going to find anywhere.
This summer has been a particularly difficult one in the streets of this country. Number of high-profile incidents of police shooting individuals and a lot of shootings of police officers as well. That's raised tensions between law enforcement and many of the communities that they serve. How can you, if elected, help address that issue and build trust between communities that law enforcement is working in?
Well, thank you for asking. It is a very, very serious situation that we're in, and I fear for the future if our leaders don't stop saying inflammatory rhetoric that divides people on both sides. It's speech that is not helpful. And the first thing that I would do is I would listen to both sides, because both sides, in the end, have legitimate positions. And so we need a leader who's going to step up and listen to both sides and remind everybody that we're here to unite. We're one nation composed of many different parts, but we're here to unite. And there's no time left for people who want to divide us, who want to pander to one group or another. There's no time left for that. It's time right now to unite. Today, July 18th, 2016, it's time.
There's also the issue of terrorism, security threats today, both domestically and internationally. What can be done in Washington, D.C. by you, if elected, to help keep Americans feeling both safe but also free as well?
Well, I'm not a big fan of going off to war in foreign countries. I think it's been a tragic mistake. And what we should be doing is spending our money in foreign countries, but spending it to build the communities there and unite them, because they've got the same problem over there that we have here. We have people who are trying to divide the people, and they're not uniting, and they're not preaching a message of peace and hope, which is the one thing that all leaders should start with, that this is most important. And so the terrorism overseas, again, violence results from people who feel disenfranchised for one reason or another, and they have their own equality problem overseas, and they bring it here. And when you feel hopeless, that you're being treated unequal, then you lose hope, and then that's when violence starts. So the main thing is to send the message. Don't be silent. Send the message out that peace and nonviolence is the only answer for the future.
Immigration also remains a key issue. What is your position on undocumented immigrants in the U.S. and America opening its doors to refugees from war-torn countries like Syria?
Well, this nation, as everybody knows, is founded on immigration. And so we need immigrants to come here and to make America what it is. I'm not really worried too much about undocumented aliens if they look to be good people. I mean, we need them. And so that's not the main problem. The main problem is to somehow screen the people who may become violent. I know this is difficult to do, but somebody has to address this to protect the safety of all Americans.
And finally, I did want to ask a little bit about education. President Obama has proposed making 2 years' worth of community college free to all Americans. Where do you stand on that issue? And more broadly, what do you feel the federal government's role is in education from pre-K all the way through college?
Well, I think the federal government has a role in making sure that all state and local schools are somewhat equal, and that we have national standards. And that is the role of federalism, after all. We're not, a confederation of states. We're a federal system. And so I think the U.S. government should take an active role in ensuring that the schools are equal and safe, and that all American children have the same access to opportunity as anyone else does.
All right. Scott Walker, Democratic Party candidate for U.S. House. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
And you can find all of our candidate conversations online at DelawarePublicMedia.org or DelawareDebates.org. Candidate conversations are taped at Delaware State University and are part of Delaware Debates 2016, produced by Delaware Public Media in collaboration with the University of Delaware's Center for Political Communication with support from AARP. Thanks for watching.